Evening, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Blueprint recaps. Today is Thursday, the 26th of March. And before we do get into anything today, everything you see on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. Myself and the Blueprint do not provide any financial advice, investment advice, or trading recommendations of any kind. All trading involves significant risk. You could lose more than you invest. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial professional before making any trading advice or investment decisions. So let's get straight into it. As I posted on my Instagram a little bit earlier today, this is a very, very, very risk-off environment you want to be in. So let's come into the beginning of the day. Coming into it, I initially saw that we were quite bearish. So if I go to the hourly, I can see we were very bearish. I mean, not very bearish, but very choppy at the moment. But if we were going to react off anything, it was probably going to be either this 1 hour gap or it was going to be Asia lows. So given that we were coming down and we had very equal lows below, I was thinking Asia lows is going to be our target. There's going to be no questions about that. So what did I see? I see that we got tapped into. We had a 2 minute. I'll go on the 2 minute just so it looks a little bit clearer. I had a 2 minute break of structure breaking up. So our protected low was here. And then I saw our protected low got broken through. And then I was looking immediately for entries on that 1 minute. So I can see strong confirmation push down. But then realistically, we didn't really get too many tests of anything. So if you go to the 2 minute, there was no real test of anything in here. If you go to a 3 minute, I think there was a there was not even a 3 minute test. 5 minute. Okay, so you can see that there was a super, super, super tiny 5 minute. Super tiny 5 minute. Now you might be asking, Dev, you had your setup. Why didn't you take it? 2 reasons. 1, we had Asia lows literally 5 points below where my entry would have been. I don't necessarily have a break-even criteria, but if I did, why would I want to be entering a trade when we move it to break-even literally 5 points after I enter? There's no point of that. So what I was thinking, I was like, all right, let's at least break through Asia lows, and if we get confirmation shorts, then we can continue going short. If we get if we get a reversal, then we can go long. So this was my trade idea. I just slapped it on, and you can see it doesn't even hit. We almost hit. We were 4 points away from take profit for us to hit, but we didn't even hit. So that's completely fine. And now you might be asking, why would I protect this area instead of the overall impulse or the impulse over here? So what I saw to protect that area as my idea was we had a 15-minute gap. Well, you can't really see it now, but there was a 15. Let me see if I can slap it and replay. Start new. I'm going to play this out on a 5 minute maybe. Yeah, as you can see, there's a gap forming. Oh, fuck, it's going way too fast. I'll play it out a little bit slower. So as you can see, this is the 15 minute. We have a gap which forms. So that's what I would have been protecting. Now, if I go back, that was my overall trade idea for the first trade. So I was like, all right, great. That doesn't happen to work out. Maybe we can look for reversals, potentially a tap deeper into this gap over here. So what does I see? I saw a strong upside rejection after Asia lows. So I was like, all right, great. We could potentially get an entry right here. So why didn't I enter into this? 1, I saw that we had a good push up, but I didn't like how this candle closed, and I didn't like the following candles after. You might be thinking, Dev, you're a little bit too picky with the way you're trading right now. Don't you think? No, not necessarily. I know how my setup plays out, and I understand that. Give me 2 seconds. I need to close something. I need to close you. And then I'm going to close you. And then close you. Pardon me. Sorry about the delays. We're back. Slide to stop. Okay, so where's my camera going, G? All right, hopefully you guys can still see me. If not, you can just hear my voice. So you might be one, I know my system play out. Usually, if we get a candle like this, where it's kind of sweeping the previous candle high, and the next candle closes quite strong bearish, likely chance that we continue going up is less than likely. So my idea was set for something like this, right? And I'm not being overly cautious because I caught an L yesterday or anything along the lines of that. I'm simply just I'm watching the conditions, how they play out. For this to continue going short, this would have had to continue breaking through here. For this to continue long, we would have likely broken through this high and then this high with a lot more momentous pressure. So let's see what we can do. And then you can see we kind of chop around, right? And then I was just like, this is not something I want to even be getting into. Potentially, there you go. Potentially, what I would have waited for is a break above this and then potentially an entry from there. So as you can see, we got a wick. So now I'd have to wait for either this point or this point here. So let's see what we get. And then, yes, there you go. You can kind of see that even if I did enter from that point, I would have got stopped out instantly. So that's not something I wanted to do. Now, I could potentially enter from this low, or we could wait for a break above this high. What do? We can see we wick below. So now we got to move this a little bit lower again. And then chop around. See, I won't lie. I think I did potentially miss an entry right here. But the reason I wasn't too keen on taking this was because there was more prominent areas of interest up above. We had a whole 5 minute, which we had not tapped into. We had a whole 15 minute, which we did not tap into as well. So for me to take 60 points, let's say I'm just protecting liquidity, that wouldn't have even 1 to 0.8. Or even just below, let's say 1 to 1. And that's the overall external liquidity. I don't even know if we've gotten to this point just yet. So I really hope that this is recording. Okay, anyway. So we're still going. Let's say theoretically I did take this, right? We'd still be going. And there's no issues that we're still going in this trade, right? There's no issues. But as you can see, it's very choppy. Like regardless if we're, all right, great, it worked out. But as you can see, it's very choppy. I much rather prefer to just reserve my capital and enter on a lot more cleaner price action in regard to the things I want to get on, just because this market is very choppy overall. If you're looking at our overall higher time frame, like this is what we're looking at. I don't want to be putting too much risk on an environment like this. And this is a continuations trade. I personally have tried to move myself a little bit further away from continuations. I much rather be taking, much rather be taking straight off hourly gaps and then taking short instead of just continuations from breaks down. Only because you can see we swept this internal low, completely reversed, and then we eventually came down. So, and that's not even 1 to 1. There you go. That's just 1 to 1 right there. You would have entered in at 7:37 and then got entered out at 8:30. So honestly, not bad. Missed trade. Am I too mad about it? Absolutely not at all. So yeah, come back for tomorrow to see what we can potentially get into tomorrow. Oh, you're joking.